Hi, my name is Alan Ancheta and I'm curator for the Monarch. And welcome to our exhibit for the year end, which is called Sign of the Times. Join me as I talk to you about our artworks and how they can make your life and your home better. You might be wondering why we call this exhibit Sign of the Times. The reason for that is 2025 has been a very eventful year for the Philippines and the Filipino people and even in the globe. So we've seen tariff wars, we've seen actual wars, we've seen, floods, natural disasters, corruption and other political scandals. So again, this is a sign that the times are coming and the times are about change. So this is a very special exhibit because this is a year-end review of all of the artists that we have and some new artists that we're going to feature in 2026 for the Monarch. It is special because it encompasses our 12-month program and at the same time, it's a look at what's coming in the future. Literally, a sign of future times. So let's start first with this artwork, which is from Jess Evangelista. He is actually an alumni of the UP Fine Arts, and he uses mixed media and acrylic on canvas. And this is one of his works. Jess basically is an artist that is similar to a lot of modern or contemporary abstract artists. I can see with him something like Joan Miro, right? And you can actually see his artwork at focal points in your house. So I can see this basically, at a foyer, or for example, when you're trying to put an artwork that really is in your den, or even in a bedroom. This actually gives you a certain energy when you wake up. This artwork is called It Is Finished, again by Jess. And this sort of artwork has a religious significance. Jess is a very religious person, and I can see if you're a religious person similar to Jess, you can actually collect this and place this in an area where you can actually display it not just as an artwork, but as a representation of your faith. This is one of my favorite artists. Her name is Rish Takanay, and she used to be an interior designer. And as you can see, her subject matter is something about childhood playfulness, basically, and it also has a lot of balloons, a lot of vibrant colors. I first saw Rish in the early 2000s or 2020s, and a lot of her artwork are actually displayed in some cancer wards, for example, in Medical City or even in Asian Hospital. So some story behind artworks like this, I heard that, one of the collectors basically who actually collects the work of Rish was cancer survivor. When he saw the painting during the time that she was having her cancer treatment, she felt, that this was a bit of hope during the time that she was really suffering from cancer. And she vowed actually to collect the work once she got better. And again, as you can see, this is a work that moves you, motivates you, and makes you want to feel better from your current condition. Something that we all need now in a very turbulent sign of the times during 2025. When you think about dioramas, one of the first things that comes to your mind are dioramas in the Ayala Museum, where you get to feature historical acts, basically, or some historical events in life, like American Revolution or Philippine Revolution. Dioramas are not just for these. These can also be used to come up with very great pieces of artwork that can depict something that is coming from a slice of life, such as this artwork called When Nature Takes Over series. As you can see here, this diorama shows what happens when nature actually is not controlled and actually takes over common urban or day-to-day life. So as you can see here, nature integrates itself and is not taking it away from modern life. So again, as part of the sign of the times, we've seen how nature, especially with natural disasters, with floods, with earthquake, can actually impact the outcome of urban living. AI has been a very hot topic in 2025 because a lot of developments from ChatGPT, from Anthropic, basically from Gemini, has caused people a lot of alarm with regard to what will happen to their jobs and what will happen to the future of humankind because of AI. This is an artwork that actually resonates with this. This is called Fly Me to the Moon Summer Series number 2. The character in the middle actually, if you look closely, is a depiction of an artificial intelligence robot. So AI, in this sort of picture or artwork is not actually a threat to humanity, but actually is a way for humanity to come back to a joyful, more wonderful time. And hopefully, this is what's going to happen when man interacts with AI. Instead of it becoming a very gloomy or sad sign of the times, humankind can actually work with AI to come up with a better future. Hummingbirds. Actually, when you look at a hummingbird, it looks like it's actually still, but actually it's in movement. And this is an example of an artwork of a hummingbird, and the title is called Reverie. Okay? This is actually a die cut, so the pieces are actually overlaid to each other. It's very, very intricate. And the name of the artist is Melay Arguzon. Okay. So, why is this related to the sign of the times? This artwork, Reverie, actually asks the collector or asks the buyer or even the artist himself is asking herself, that we should take time, especially at the end of the year, to take stock, to pause and, think about all the things that have happened in our life. Especially during a very turbulent year like 2025, where there have been a lot of political, economic, and also man-made disasters, and some not man-made, that actually influences what's happening around us. It's a time to reflect. It's a time to think of a better future. One of our favorite artists that has been exhibiting not just in the Philippines but also abroad is Mylene Quito. And these are two of her works. This one is the Sunflower Cascade, and the other one basically is another floral exhibit. So for this year, when you are really having a lot of issues, a lot of turbulence, a lot of thoughts around you, returning back to nature, which is one of the themes of Mylene Quito, is actually making us go back and look at a better or calmer sign of the times. So again, this is one of these artworks that I can imagine you placing in your living room or your dining room, even in your bedroom basically, and it will really change the way your environment looks like. And it's also an expression. A lot of people like flowers, right? I'm sure you viewers like flowers because it gives a sense of calm, it gives a sense of serenity, and also wellness. It's been known in several studies that having a certain amount of what they call this greenery or foliage inside the house, whether it's drawings or paintings, can actually be better in terms of wellness. Just as long it doesn't become like a jungle and you have too many florals. So again, I'd encourage you, our listeners, to take a look at these artworks and possibly think about putting them into your homes. There's no better way to end the year by using artworks of Isa Rodillo. So she uses an acrylic pour, which creates artwork which is one of a kind. So there is no one artwork which is the same because the acrylic pour actually creates a random design that can only be captured once. Now, if you look at the title of these two works, this one is called Silent Glow. The one on top is called Festive Radiance. And I think there's no better way for us to end the year and to end this tour of this exhibit than to talk about these two works. Because I think the glow and the radiance is something that we should look forward to in the year 2026. 2025 is now behind us. 2026 is ahead of us. And we should look forward to a brighter future. This is an artwork actually done by an artist that started their craft during the pandemic period. The sculptures and her skill was developed during that period, and her name is Anne Gatula. So we have two artworks here. One is Simple Joys and The Homie. Now, one important fact about Anne. Anne actually uses her artwork to talk about her advocacy, which is autism, because one of her children is autistic. And here, as you can see, this shows you a very unique artwork that features simple joys. Because if we think about autism, it's actually a broad number of conditions, but it actually makes people, I mean, it does affect, the mental capabilities of people, but at the same time, it doesn't affect the joy that they have in their life and the joys that they bring to other people. The homie is also very important if you're looking at that theme, because when you are, facing autism, the home is an important place for you, because this is an area where you feel safe. This is an area that you feel secure. Both artworks would be good for your home, whether if you're looking at an advocacy or even just something like very technically good and unique pieces. As you've noticed, it's a combination of wood and also brass. Angatula, a very good addition to your collection if you're thinking about new sculptures that can be as part of your collection. This is one of the standout pieces. I mean, if I look at all the collection, I think this one is very standout for me because it's very unique in terms of its form, it's unique in terms of its composition, and more importantly, it's unique about its subject and advocacy, which is autism. This is very, very different, very, very important, very, very relevant. And again, it relates to the sign of the times. A lot more children now are being detected with autism. Before, the detection rates were low. Now it's getting higher. And we, as society, must be able to integrate them into the broader way of living. Thank you again for being with us during this episode of the podcast. I hope you learned more about our artists, our artwork, and how they can really make your room and your home and your life even better. My message to you, 2025 is now almost over. 2026 is over the horizon. Before 2026 goes and actually comes into play, I'd like to invite everyone to go into the Monarch. I'd like to invite you to our year-end closing exhibit, Sign of the Times. Thank you very much again for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of our podcast, The Monarch After Dark.